Welcome to another edition of 4D, Def's Daily Dose of Dota. I'm your host, Michael Deficus Plumley of Deficus Broadcasting. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, and this is episode 8 of 4D. Today we're going to be looking at Alliance's misery, or stand-in misery, at the recent ESL New York, and his support Rubick play in a game against EG in the first round of the tournament, I believe. This was a pivotal game 2 with Alliance up facing elimination. They had to fight back hard. And with the assistance of Rubick and a few other key heroes, they pulled out a very long game, 76 minutes, but they would force it to the game deciding Game 3. We're going to hop right into the game. Usually I do a little bit of analysis with my def scores spreadsheet, but to be honest, there's not much to be said about Rubick. Rubick is all about the support play, not just the damage you do, but more importantly, how you can help your other heroes do damage and what spells you steal. We're going to hop into the game, as always, right at the end of the draft, as we see the last picks coming out. I always like to look at the compositions in terms of primary attribute, and that was the Silencer coming out for Alliance. You'll notice that they have 4 intelligence heroes, and only 1 agility, the Terrorblade, no strength heroes, and you might think, well, are they a little low on HP? Are they a little vulnerable to high burst damage? But I would say with this Terrorblade pick, we're definitely going to be looking at a lot of illusion gaming, if it can be said that, especially with the Naga Siren on the opposing team.
10 seconds remaining.
We're going to see a lot of new illusions killing illusions. And a Venomancer coming out as the last pick as an Evil Genius. They have a pretty balanced lineup. Enigma, Elder Titan. The Silencer, I think, will serve very well against the Enigma to try and prevent his black hole. The Alliance otherwise doesn't have a lot of stuns to stop that. Necrophos' ult is the only one that comes to mind. But we're going to hop into the game and see how Misery and his Rubick contribute to a 76-minute win, I believe, for Alliance.
5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Misery starting off with the support role. Picking up a Clarity, 2 Iron Branches, and some Tangos. He will be sticking with Ake's Silencer, and Loda farming up on the position 1 Terrorblade. They're going to start our match, roaming into the jungle, sticking together. Necro is played by Hani in this game. He has a defensive position here just in case EG were to come up the map and force a fight together. But instead, they are all grouped up as 4. They're going to be protecting their own jungle. They want to make sure that Zai on his Enigma has preferably 0 camps blocked so he can get as high GPM farm as possible jungling and get that Blink Dagger or possibly a Mechanism first. We see Rubick as our support on the high ground. It looks like he's going to want to contest this 0-minute rune. Elder Titan put down 1 ward here. Probably my favorite ward spot in the whole game. And Misery, simply showing up at the rune, is rewarded with a bounty rune. I believe 50 gold and 50 XP coming his way. He'll put an observer ward on the high ground there. Excellent spot, protecting against any rotations or potential ganks coming out from EG. He'll be joining Necrophos in the bottom lane, and we're going to be concentrating a lot in the first phase of 4D, just looking at Misery's support play. Although on the opposing team there's PPD with a double damage rune and Fear going up against the Silencer, Batrider. The mid matchup is Artesia, the Death Prophet, up against Terrorblade. And as already mentioned, Enigma is going to be farming up the jungle. We see Misery already stacking, or pulling rather, the first opportunity he got. He's going to be eating that tree and hopefully double stacking here. Although Universe is coming to break up the double pull. Excellent job on his part. Misery tries to auto attack to get them back in, but the creep wave has already went back into lane. And other than trading a few right clicks, not much can be done for him. He's picked up the telekinesis, first level. That's about all the stun power they have coming out for Alliance, other than Necro once he gets his ultimate online. And we see Rubick running over to the mid lane here, picking up his boots at perfect timing and just really trying to zone out Universe. Elder Titan doesn't have much DPS capability early on. His briefcase is only hitting for 54 damage. That was a first blood for Nagasiren up in the top lane, with the assistance that would look like a Venomous Gale coming out from Venomancer. 2-minute mark comes up and Misery is already rotated. Looks like he might be coming up to mid lane to see if he can contribute in any way. Arteezy will usually get the best of a lane matchup here. Death Prophet is a very favorable hero to mid on. But there goes the lift, being thrown back. He'll be using his Fade Bolt combination. And it does secure a kill for Loda's Terrorblade. A fantastic rotation by Misery. He's level 2.5 now. Interesting Zebra. Genuine Braze the Zonky. And 50 seconds after picking up that Illusion Rune, which definitely helped contribute to the damage on that kill, he's going to use it to stack this camp. Great job there. While he himself rotates back towards the bottom lane, perhaps he'll use it to get a pull off here. The lane itself is pushing up towards the tier 1 tower. And that will be what Misery is choosing to do. You'll see it's 3 minutes in, he only has 2 last hits. But that is thus the life of a support. Already positioning himself to try and get a double pull here. And Universe, smart play on his part, already rotating over to try and steal the playback. But the double pull will get off. He can at least roam over here to try and contest, and he does successfully pull the creep wave. Although, it comes right back. Misery using that time to get several right clicks off on Elder Titan and just force him out lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's the 4-minute mark already. He will rotate back towards the bottom rune, as we see several from both teams rotating towards the top. A regeneration rune is here for Rubick. He will hold it for now.
Radiant's middle tower is under
There
attack.
is no bottle coming out in the courier, but Terrorblade still might want to rotate. Instead, Misery gets the restoration rune on his own, and he'll rotate towards mid. He would love to get another gank, a repeat of what happened at the 2-minute mark. Arteezy might be a little more keen on that now. We can switch over to Arteezy's vision. Does he see the support rotate in? Rubick backing far up, lying in wait. And Terrorblade using this time to just farm up the jungle, while Misery stands in, literally, in lane. Just trying to soak up some of the XP here. He's level 3 already. Necro is having a great time in the bottom lane, 30 last hits. Universe in the off position has already been forced back to base. And up at the top lane we see Fear jungling away. That's about all the
Radiant's top
playboards
tower
are good
is
for.
under
They do
attack.
piercing damage, which is reduced towards heroes. And Venomancer's right-click damage is not very significant early on. Misery getting in a deny out there. Just any farm he can deny from Arteezy at this point. Mission accomplished for support. And meanwhile, Loda is continuing to farm up. Excellent farming hero. Once he gets no more than 2 or 3 levels, he can quickly switch into the jungle. Bulldog, having his Tranquil Boots, is using this to attempt another stack. Having already been stacked once by our support Misery, this triple stack will be, along with this one, make him well on his way to a Blink Dagger. Speaking of Blink Daggers, we see Enigma farming up in the jungle. He's had pretty much uncontested farm the majority of the first 6 minutes. Already has his soul ring and boots. And Misery's just continuing to stand here in mid lane, getting some free XP. He definitely wants to get to level 6, start using his ultimate to the best of his ability.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fortification coming out, that's going to be our Venomancer pushing up on the tower. Once again, the Plague Ward damage is piercing, so it's not going to be doing as much damage to heroes or towers, but at 450 HP, they really just act as a meat shield if you can get them within range of the tower. Rotation from our Batrider coming down to the bottom lane. And we see Rubick just continuing to farm up in mid. It's uncontested. He has low damage. He's not going to get a lot done, but the important thing is he will hit level 6 with this next wave. But in exchange for his absence in the bottom lane, their tower has fallen. EG has a very aggressive jungle ward coming down immediately. And Zai choosing not to farm up for that Blink Dagger, which would have probably taken him 4 or 5 more minutes. Instead, going with the power treads and really rotating with his team to secure what might be another kill. Excellent use of Black Hole. Fantastic job if you can get a kill with it early on. He will die, but it will result in a double kill for EG. Misery, as you see, is now level 6, rotating back, but he's a bit too slow. But the important thing is his functionality changes greatly now. You can see he's stolen Riptide. Might help his farming a little bit should he choose to shift over into the jungle, but presumably he'll be stacking more for the Batrider, who will want to get his Blink Dagger. Or for Lotus Terrorblade. We have a pause come out, but this is a replay, so we can just skip right through this. Misery XD, he's having a good time, he hasn't died yet, and he has 1 assist. He's level 6 now, but low on HP and low on mana, so he will be presumably walking back to base, heal up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
By then, Batrider will be very close to his Blink Dagger. Here in the top lane, we saw Fear reaping the benefit of those 450 HP Plague Wards. They did successfully take down the tower. Terrorblade continuing to use his time, farming up the jungle. And Bulldog attempting to stack here. That should be a successful stack. Indeed it is. Along with these 2 camps replenishing. He's going to need about 2 more minutes before his Blink Dagger. And we see once again Misery buying a smoke. Not many last hits, but he's to support this game. So it'll be the plays under things like this invisibility that will make or break his performance. We see what looks to be a rotation up towards Fear, with Silencer sitting in lane. There's going to be another rotation from Necro, using the Riptide first, doing some damage, reducing the armor, and there goes the Necrophos stun to secure a kill on Fear. Might have stuck around a little too long there. Back in the mid lane we see Enigma with the help of his Eidolons getting Terrorblade oh so low. That very last right click from Arteezy will secure the kill. And the top of our last hit board will be pulled back a little bit. Arteezy, as we see, top on net worth with the help of that kill. And now it's Arteezy and PPD thinking about rotating to the top lane. As we go back to our Rubick, he's spending this time very wisely. He's already level 8. He also has the level 4 Plague Wards, 450 HP. Those will be able to apply the pressure just as quickly as Venomancers will. They're not going to have the Poison Sting dot on them, but they're still going to have the 450 HP to act as a meat shield and to help push out the lanes. But above all, he was sitting in a lane where no one else was at, soaking up a little extra experience. He's also up to 21 last hits and has secured his Arcane Boots. We see Loda in the bottom lane, continuing to farm up the position 1 role as Alliance just pushing out the lane. Universe attempting to contest the jungle here, but our Batrider is still able to use these 2 camps to get very close to his Blink Dagger. Actually, I believe this last camp will do it.
Is under attack.
As he goes back to base with both of those kills, that shows a lot of practice. He'll be able to pick up his Blink Dagger at 11-minute mark. Not too shabby, considering he has already died twice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And we see Rubick having healed once again. Great support play. He's picking the Observer Wards up, along with a Smoke of Deceit.
Dire's middle
PPD
tower
dropping
has
an
been
Observer Ward in
denied.
lane. And he's just using his time here. There's no fights happening yet. It's still in the laning phase. It's 12 minutes in. And he has probably the best ability to steal early on. Something like Black Hole would be nice later on, but this is going to help him push out lanes. Also do this zoning vision here to make sure he's not getting ganked from the side lane, which he won't be. Zai and Arteezy have used this time to secure an early Roche with just 2 men,
Dire's top tower
and Fear
is under attack.
D'ing up the middle with these defensive wards. Misery, sensing the impending fight, it seems like, we'll use this time to stack and pull a little more. I love this rub that he did right here. We're actually going to hop back to show it. This is one of the few camps where you don't... The hitbox for the camp is a bit back, so he can sit right here and it will pull the units on their own without having to go inside of the camp. You can also go right here under this tree and accomplish the same effect. Arteezy using this time to push up the lane. He might see these wards here, and he does. Rotating over, getting a TP scroll, but he doesn't have much to fear from a Rubick, especially with his Aegis up. Rubick moving into lane, stealing Crypt Swarm, another excellent lane pushing ability, but Arteezy's hot on the chase, 503 move speed. PPD throwing the ensnare. This may be Rubick's demise. TP being cancelled, and he will fall. But he's down for 28 seconds. It's still early on. And space created, you could say, as Bulldog continues to farm in his own jungle. Necrophos farming as well. And this early ward that will be expiring in 10 seconds did not result in too many kills for EG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
However, we see Fear pushing out the mid lane. He's up on the tower with the wards, but without a creep wave in support, they will be forced back. Venomous Gale going off on Batrider along with the ultimate. Natural Order, reducing the resistance, increasing the damage, but with the help of a Death Pulse already at max rank, Batrider will TP to safety. We have 3 heroes, make that 4 for EG, grouping up mid. Arteezy's rotating to get this invisibility rune. And looking back at our Rubick, he has used that smoke to rotate with Hani. Loda's pushing out the lane. They may be able to get a kill on this Enigma. He never saw it coming. Death Pulse, Telekinesis, wonderful black hole there, but quickly cancelled by the silencer.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'm actually a little surprised that managed to hit 3 people. Meanwhile, we see Arteezy with the Invis rune and his Exorcism. They've secured the first tower, and there is a very large rotation coming up to the top lane. But Rubick, will he get out in time? PPD has the ensnare but doesn't have vision of him. And that rotation is a bit wasted. Nothing remains but illusions and Hani sitting in the forest, who will now rotate out as well to his own jungle. Another beautiful stack here coming out from our Batrider. Getting some great work done. He's up to 4k net worth. Our Rubick down in last place, but that's to be expected of a support. He's stolen Midnight Pulse this time. Excellent ability, especially if you just need nothing else but to clear out trees and get some crucial line of sight in what seems to be an impending team fight. Especially with both tier 1 mids down. We could see more smokes, more rotations coming out. Instead it looks like Rubick will be occupying the mid perhaps, rotating to get the bottom rune. And the position 1 Terrorblade by Loda continuing to farm up. He still has a ways to go to catch Arteezy though. Misery using this time to rotate into the bottom lane. There's nobody here. Loda's in tow to protect him, should there be a rotation. But instead that rotation is coming through the jungle right now, with 3 men of EG being scouted out by the illusion of Terrorblade. Arteezy rotates to get this restoration rune, which Misery probably should have gotten when he was there earlier. Presumably he thought Loda or someone else was going to rotate to grab it. And sensing danger, Loda switches lanes to push out further. And Misery, he already has this ward down, just sticking around to see who shows up. Cheeky little play there. He does steal Plague Wards though, and with no stun to cancel it, Venomancer has little to do but watch him teleport home. Zai using this opportunity to farm up the jungle, his enemy's jungle. And an exorcism is being used by Arteezy. He senses the pressure coming from this top lane. Universe is here to support. The Yule's Scepter is up, but the silence cancels what was going to be an Echo Stomp, although it still goes on cooldown. Pretty good use of the ult, I would say. Especially since it did protect their, what I would call a 4 protect 1 lineup. Their carry Terrorblade. Multiple rotations coming in. The Plague Wards are here. And I believe that was a smoke. Yep, a 4-man smoke into the jungle. Plague Wards might scout this out though. And we do see the Rubick caught a little behind. He does fall to the Echo Stomp in assistance of a Crypt Swarm. Arteezy secures another kill and he pushes a little further ahead on the net worth. Rubick, he's 0, 2, and 3. But this kill on Batrider is probably the bigger issue. Now with 2 heroes down, EG maybe looking to push. And with that, we're going to take a break. This would be what I would consider the end of the mid game. Or pardon me, the end of the early game. It's going to be the beginning of the mid game. EG has grouped up top with half their team there, half their team in mid to stop a push from Necrophos. The laning phase is over. Everybody's hit level 6. We've already seen black holes. We've seen some spell steals coming out from Rubick. And after the break, we'll see the continuation of this episode 8 of 4D Def's Daily Dose of Dota.